You cannot escape from death.
At this 7v7, for day one at least, Korea is absolutely performing. Here's the lineup for those of you guys who don't know. For Team Pakistan, you have Arslan, Atif, Dejan, Farzin, you have Newman, you have Usama, and you have Kasfiz. On Korea side, you have Ni, Ulsan, CBM, Rangchu, John Ding, Molgold, and Chanel. Previously, when I was covering this, I was talking about how Korea is the underdogs going into it, and Pakistan has all the advantage. One of these Pakistani players could dominate a whole tournament and make it look easy. And when you put all of them on the same team against one another, all it takes is for one to body the rest, and then the rest is history. But what we're seeing right now is Korea just doing what they've done since forever, and they're just cooking. We all know that Pakistan has been dominating. They've been placing top 2. They've been winning tournaments. They've just been cooking. They also been playing strong characters. Nina, Dragunov, they've been cooking, decimating. Evo, Vegas, Arslan, and Atif were in first place, second place, and they bodied the whole entire tournament. These guys have been cooking endlessly. And at the same time, you had the Korean players who just been struggling. Ni, one of the greatest Tekken player of all time. He has been having so much difficulties in Tekken 8, but not anymore. And before we get to that part, this is the thing that's really interesting, is because people like to talk about how Tekken 8 is very different from past Tekkens. And we use examples of Ni not performing so well. We use examples of Anakin not performing so well. That guy was amazing in Tekken 7. His defense, his ability to space, his backdashing, timing, all of that stuff. In Tekken 8, it doesn't matter though. People can chip through that, they can blast through it, put you in the mix-up, and you're cooked, right? So people who did very well in a defensive environment are not doing so good in an aggressive environment. And it's taken some people longer than others to adjust. But for Ni being the best, literally, I think he won the last Evo for Tekken 7, and then falling so hard the next year, people was like, oh my God, this game is cooked. Now, we did have some ups and we did have some downs on both sides, right? Pakistan and Korea. I'll just break it down real fast. So Chikrin won Evo Japan. That's a Japanese player, very powerful. I believe it was AK who won Combo Breaker. Then you had Arslan Ash win Evo. I believe he won 5 of them overall throughout his career. And then you had Ulsan perform incredibly and defeat all odds to win the EWC. Now, out of all the tournaments that had the biggest prize pool, $1 million, right? I believe he got 200,000 of that, something like that, right? And he had to get through Atif and Arslan to do so, right? But then if you fast forward a little bit later, the person who won the Tekken World Tour Finals was Rangchu. So there's been wins and losses. Year 1 of Tekken 8, even though it seemed like a Pakistani landslide, the wins has been distributed pretty evenly, and Korea came out on top, collecting most of them. So when you focus on their rivalry and you look at how Korea dominated the Tekken scene since all of time, when Pakistan first showed up in like 2018, 2019, and they started to just body everyone, it really was a unreal moment. To speak to that, the Evo at that time broke records. Tekken, for the first time ever, had a bigger viewership than Street Fighter, which is crazy. And that's literally all the hype that was generated between Arslan and Ni. The Pakistanis coming out of nowhere, a whole like section of the world demonstrating such power, and then defeating the most powerful like region in the world. It was literally being considered to like Dragon Ball, like a new saga, like the Saiyan saga, like the Frieza saga, like the Android saga. It was crazy. And then just to see that evolution to where it is now, where both regions are showing up and you don't know who is going to win, it's like amazing. It's amazing. In the first match, you had Edge go up against the John. Edge is a Harang player. You know, Harang isn't considered to be too powerful in tournament environment, right? And then John plays King. King is kind of decent. A lot of people talk about his power crush muscle armor that he's able to spam and get away free with. So when you put these two characters together, it really is going to come down to the skill involved, because at a high level, neither one of these characters is just super godlike, and that defines the matchup, right? You have this clip here that Baaz posted, and we'll take a look at this just to get an understanding of what they're doing, right? This is a highlight they shared.
The lows, the down back fours. Oh, the push, the beat.
So at this point in time, they're 4-4. So this is a pretty deep into the set. 2-2 is the round count, and then Hamrang just gets this nice heat launch off this move that King was trying to do.
He's got the combo. Let's go. Spin him. Looking like a Baaz and the win.
Yeah, he got him.
T1 Edge. 5-4 over the John. Those last 2 rounds were crazy.
The next match was Ulsan versus Atif. This is a run back. This is a rematch to the EWC. Yeah, you can see here, they say who's winning this anticipated EWC final rematch. Ulsan playing Dragunov. Well, I think he's still playing Dragunov. And then Atif playing Dragunov. Now when we talk about Knee and Arslan, of course, Knee, Arslan. First to 10. Now they have some clips here, and we'll check out this one. So Arslan is playing Clive. You remember that pro who said Clive is fair on Twitter? He's so fair that Arslan Ash, the guy who is known for playing only powerful characters, is playing him. That's how fair Clive is. But Bryan Fury is really powerful in this game as well, right? And I think you're able to do a little bit more with him in a tournament environment, because the tournament players usually have the skill, and that skill means you can, do everything necessary to, maximize the character. So let's look at this clip.
Rage. He can do something if he just has to get hit.
So 1-2. So Arslan won one match. Bryan Fury, which is Knee, 1-2. The round count is 0-1. And then Bryan Fury's like one shot, and he gets this huge counter hit launcher Knee. And then he has a heat activation and rage. So I'm guaranteed he kills with this.
Here, and he gets the Knee counter hit. And this is big damage right here. He's got full reach. He's gonna activate. Yes, he is.
Yep.
Oh my
God.
Yeah, combo and the wall and death. He didn't even use rage, which I thought he was going to, but
I can't believe I had no idea that was gonna kill.
So now we have another clip here. What is this one? It's a 10-2 statement made. Knee has absolutely dominated his arch rival today. Team Korea takes all expedition matches 3-0. So this is the clip.
With rage right now, life is still even, and he's got a good position. Oh no, but it didn't matter.
Look at how Arslan sits back in his chair. Dang.
Oh no, but it didn't matter. Knee takes the first of 10 exhibition against Arslan Ash in this Pakistan versus Korea tournament, and this is gonna send.
That's crazy, bro. That is crazy. Knee has really came back from so much, bro. Everyone was counting him out. Everyone was writing him off. Bro just said, actually, it's not over yet. Let me hit the lab. And I do remember there was some tweets from him where he was saying like he's starting to figure out the game. He's starting to understand that he has to play this way. He's starting to understand that he can't do this, right? Basically you saw little instances of him saying like, I can't continue to play Tekken 7. I have to adapt and play Tekken 8. And that's when we started to see all of these like counter hits come out. That's when you start to see like his setups change. And like now look, right? It looks like he perfected it. It looks like now it's the Pakistanis' turn to adjust, learn, come back, and then rise up. You can see Arslan Ash, he's speechless. He just puts these emojis. He's just speechless. That is brutal. And then you also have this here, which kind of gives a breakdown of day one. Edge 5-4 over the John. Ulsan 10-7 Atif. Knee 10-2 over Arslan. Talk about a day one statement. Now, there's 2 more days of this, right? So this day one, yes, it could end up being a W for like these 3 people here, but the Pakistanis, if they really like lock in and clutch up, they could still come back and win the whole thing. It's not over, right? There's still 2 more days. The tide can turn if Pakistan dominates the next 2 days. This is when they will be tested. We know all of these players are really, really good at the game, but now it's about who has the heart, who has the, the drive, who is like gonna lock in. Does Korea get like all happy, like, yeah, we're winning, okay, now we can just cruise, or do they continue to like foot on the pedal? But then at the same time, does Pakistan, like, do they see their 3 toughest players go down terribly, and they're like, oh yeah, we're cooked? If Arslan couldn't beat Knee, what can I do? Like, if they start thinking like that, they're also chopped. But at the same time, right, Knee may be familiar with the Arslan matchup, same thing with Ulsan Atif, but some of these other players that they have on the roster, this is their time to like surprise and step up and make a comeback.